Sure, yeah, okay. So one of the first things I'll do with a client, let's say he's a porn addict, okay? So I'll say, I want you to, for you to really be successful in recovery, you need to be aware on an ongoing basis what triggers you to want to look at porn. And you're going to have environmental triggers, sexual triggers, and emotional triggers, okay? So maybe, and they could all combine together, okay? So we work through this. So for a lot of guys, a big emotional trigger is boredom.
Okay.
They're just bored. They're sitting at home alone at night, there's no one there, and they're bored. A big one is stress. Okay, a big one is anxiety. A sexual trigger could be seeing a certain person during the day, a billboard, an ad, a TV show. I mean, really in our society, you know, like you mentioned earlier, it's highly sexualized. So every day, every guy will be exposed to dozens and dozens of sexual triggers. It just all depends how they handle it. And then the other trigger would be environmental. So that would have to do with a mall, a beach, you know, the arena, like in general where there might be a lot of people. An environmental trigger could be, let's say a person usually acts out, like what I call act out, okay, at his home office. And he looks at porn every morning in his home office. So being in that office is an environmental trigger because don't forget there's always this brain chemistry going on, right?
This is what I need to do in that office.
Yeah, well that's true. When he walks in, his brain looks at the computer and it pairs the behavior with the computer
so you
on the desk.
associate one thing with another. I remember when I used to smoke, I always used to smoke with a coffee.
Right.
And when I quit smoking, I had to quit coffee for a year. I couldn't drink coffee.
Yeah, that's called pairing. That's called pairing.
Right away I feel like to smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the same thing that happens. Going to the same situation.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like having after a good dinner having a smoke, but you can't stop eating dinner.
Yeah. Or having a cigarette after sex, you know. That was great, let's kill ourselves. So that's kind of where we start, right? Because you have to understand that most addicts, any kind of addict, especially sex addicts, they have very low awareness of their emotions, okay? And when they're acting out, they actually the brain chemistry changes so much that they go into what we call an altered state. So an altered state is how you can sit at a computer for 5 straight hours and you look up and it's like 5 minutes went by.
Wow.
You know, we've all experienced that, maybe driving, you know, you look up and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you know, that kind of in the zone, or you know, you're working away and it's like, wow, I just worked for 3 hours like this, right? So, but this is, so in a good way, it can help us in a good way, but this is a bad way. So in that altered state, his prefrontal cortex is actually disengaged, and that's the part of your brain that uses reason and judgment and thinks, you know, there's going to be consequences to this behavior, right? That's shut off. That's kind of on standby, and the limbic brain.
So they go into 3-year-old mode. Pretty
much, right. Yeah, and actually, what's interesting is because the main purpose of an addiction is to alter your mood.
Right.
That's why people do it. That's why they eat sugar, that's why they gamble, that's why they drink, that's why they smoke cocaine. Change how they feel, right? And the thing is that most addicts have an emotional, they're developed to the age of where they first started using the behavior. And their emotional development is stunted. So if you started watching porn, like me, because I'm a recovering porn addict, I'm very open about that. I started looking at porn when I was 10. Okay, so at around age 10, 12, and then it got worse into high school, but I stopped developing the emotional skills I needed because I didn't need to develop them, because whenever I had stress or pain or a problem, I would go to the behavior. So there's a real learning process early in recovery of, you know, like I'll tell guys, I say, here's a sheet of paper, every day I want you to write down 10 feelings. And they're like they get 2 or 3. They literally cannot think of 10 feelings.
Wow.
Right. So if I gave that to you, you'd have like 100 probably, like just like that. Right, that's right, yeah.
So is more tendency in guys than women?
Porn out, it's about 80-20. 80% men, 20%
So the sexuality for men is definitely works on a different Like, is there different chemical release? Is there, well, there must be heightened, like, I don't know.
It's just the way the brain
physically and like.
I think the brain process is the same with the dopamine, but I think a major difference is, you know, men compartmentalize sex a lot easier than women. And I don't know if it's genetic, I don't know if it's because we're socialized that way, but with women, sex is much more about relationship. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
feelings,
and porn companies have taught on this because the fastest growing demographic of porn watchers is women. And because porn companies have said, because don't forget, these are multi-billion-dollar corporations. They have boardrooms, they have planning meetings, they have marketing departments.
I just can't even
they have sales, right? And so they get together and they say,
I'm
guys,
so naive in that, like, oh.
So they get together and say, we need to make more money. What are we not tapping into? Well, we're not tapping into the 18 to 30-year-old female market. So let's make kind of women-friendly porn, right? Let's throw in a little story and make it about relationships and so stuff like that. So they have something that they can kind of grab onto.
Put a little bit of romance in it.
A little bit of romance, right? Because there's two kinds of porn. There's what's called gonzo porn, which is basically just body parts slamming into each other. There's no plot at all.
Yeah.
And then there's what's called feature porn, where you have a story.
Yes.
And the acting is pathetic and everything, but they actually sort of have a script. You know?
Right.
There's kind of like a storyline to it.
Right.
And so that women, if they do watch it, tend to be oriented more to that. Right? But one interesting difference is that with the online stuff, 80% of women in chat rooms are going to try to take that offline into real life. And that's one difference between men and women. Men don't care. They can go in the chat room and do the sexting and then
attachment, right?
Yes, there is. That's
right. Well, they're usually chasing the orgasm, right? So they go in the chat room and maybe get aroused and have masturbate. Whereas women are kind of like, I want to meet him.
That's right.
What's he like?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a relationship, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's one big difference, you know. But
now, do you have women clients? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's the?
Probably 10% of my addicts would be women, so it's pretty low, but they're out there. And I think.
And what's the success rate of getting past the addiction?
You were asking that earlier. Is there a cure? Well, the cure is recovery. So like I say, it's about implementing that whole system of behaviors. And one thing I didn't mention was, I mentioned like therapy, group, homework, reading. I want people to read literature and empower themselves to understand what's going on in their brains and their bodies.
I think that's important,
right? And 20 years ago when I was struggling, there was nothing.
Nothing,
No one even, I saw so many counselors that were clueless. They had no way to even conceptualize the problem or explain it to me. Right?
Hang some garlic above your bread.
Just stop it. Just don't do it. Okay. Yeah. Try that, but now there's a ton of stuff out there. There's websites, there's books, there's all kinds of great stuff. So, but the other thing is accountability.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't do this on your own. If you're a true addict, you need to either go to a group and get what they call a sponsor. So a sponsor is someone that will take you through the steps if it's a 12-step group that you meet every week, and you show up and you have your stuff and you do it and you check in with him. He says, did you act out? Did you look at porn? Did you masturbate? Did you sleep with an escort? Like he
it's like the movie. It's a movie.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for asking or something.
I watched the movie. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
With Pink.
Right. Yeah, there's actually some good movies coming out about this.
It's almost like a parole officer.
Yeah.
And they exactly explain how the sponsor works.
Right. Yeah. And that's that 12-step model of a sponsor. But it could be just a friend.
Yeah.
It'll say, okay, I want you to find a friend you can trust, and then you're going to tell them what I call your bottom lines are. So so you call and pay Joe. I'm trying to deal with my porn addiction. Right, but it's hard. But they have to get to that point where they can admit it to someone else. I want to stop masturbation. I want to stop pornography, and I want to stop chat rooms. And you're going to text him every day for 90 days.
Wow.
Every day for 90 days, because the core factor that drives addiction is secrecy. Isolation.
Yeah, because I think that's the not only that you're getting high on watching that you're getting, you know, the thrill of, oh, I'm hiding, I'm hiding,
yes.
you know?
You're right. It's kind of a rush, you know? It's kind of, a lot of guys say that, it's kind of exciting,
like,
you know?
It's probably, it feels a lot like, well, it's your double lifestyle,
Total
but it's
double
like
life.
having an affair in a room with the computer and to the stranger.
Right. And that's how it feels to you as a partner, right?
Now you have some notes about women, what they're going through as they're experiencing their partner, some of the...
So a lot of things that I hear, like, actually, these would probably be almost word for word quotes from partners is, I'm obviously very unattractive, right? And I'm looking at them and going, like, you're very attractive, but they really think I'm a piece of crap, right?
Wow.
I guess I don't cut it for him anymore. I've had that, right? Who will love me now? No man will want me.
So they're fearful, so they'd rather stay with somebody who has a problem than facing the issue because they're afraid of being alone.
Yeah, and they feel so worthless.
Yeah.
Who could love me?
Yeah.
Who could love me?
Yeah.
I can't compete with porn. Right? I mean, I just can't compete. You know, that would be like telling me you got to go box Mike Tyson today.
Yeah.
I'd be like, just shoot me now, because there's no way that's not going to happen, right? I can't beat this. And that's a horrible feeling.
That would be.
To feel like there's nothing you can
person,
do.
as a real like partner, you are more than that.
Right.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
100%.
I'm defective or I'm unworthy. Okay, and I mean it just goes on and on. So then what happens, some of the things that kick in, the need to control. So like 9 out of 10 people will say they've done this kind of thing. I gotta control him, I gotta check up on him, I'm gonna follow him in the car, like all kind, you know, check his history, check his phone.
The trust is gone.
We're in the control.
Drive by, hide the mouse, hide the remote, drive by his office and make sure he's there. You know, like stuff out of movies, you know, like, but it really happens. And, you know, we were chatting earlier and you were saying how after a while, you know, you start to think like, am I the crazy one? Like who am I? If I'm this crazy woman, like driving by his office to see if his car's there, right? And that's what's so, you know, confusing because he's the one with the problem.
Yeah, and then
he's done this to you.
Yeah.
And it's not your problem.
That's right. Yeah. But I'm sure it transcends then to the partner, and there's probably a lot of blame from, does the man ever go to the woman like, yeah, you are the problem, like this is why I'm doing this?
Well,
like do they sometimes?
Not in front of me, they don't.
Well, I'm sure
they don't really get away with that, but I've had like, well, you know, she wouldn't try this in bed, so I'll go online and watch.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, or I mean,
that's only a fantasy.
We have sex once a month, and I need more than that. And so again, lack of ownership, blaming the partner. You know, and I tell guys straight, I said, like, I don't care if she hasn't given me sex in 5 years. I said, you have options. Looking at porn is not an option. And if you think that's going to get you more sex, well, how's that working out for you?
That's right. That's right. Now you said that, like a lot of, like some of the women, they turn to food.
Yeah, depression.
Yeah.
So
that's the points that you were going to mention.
Well, these are some of the things, right? So depression, food. Actually, about half of partners react by overeating, and some will go right into full-blown bulimia, anorexia, like develop an eating disorder in reaction to the disclosure of finding this out. A lot of denial and shock. You know, this isn't happening. I've had women come in and I'll say, you know, here's a great book to read. I want you to go buy this book and read it. And you know what they tell me? They say, I can't do that because I'm admitting this is really happening.
Whoa.
Wow,
yes.
Yeah. I'm not, because you know what? The woman feels like a loser though.
Right, yeah.
They feel like a loser. You know, because this guy is, you know, now my husband is like this guy. And what is, I don't even know who he is anymore. What does that make me?
Yeah.
You know? So that really blew me away, actually. You know,
Wow.
that when I heard that, and I've heard that a couple times from people. Like, it's hard for me to read that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And that's a bit of that denial.
Hard to face it.
Hard to face
Hard
it.
to face
Hard
it.
to face.
Because it is, when you face it, you know what's happening. When you know what's happening, you know you have to do something about it.
Exactly.
Right? And
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, I'm sure couples get into a dysfunctional relationship that in their dysfunction, it's somehow they still carry on.
Mhm.
Instead of seeing what could change that would make the relationship better, it's just like, oh, that's the way it is. I
Yeah.
hate it, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, is there a lot of couples that start a lot of like aggression with that, or like a lot of fighting?
Well, let me see. There was the one lady that threw the laptop out the window. There was the one lady that took an axe to it. Okay.
So there is aggression for
A
it.
hammer.
Wow.
Okay. To the tablet.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Pain.
I mean,
Must be.
how much pain are you in
Yeah.
to take an axe
That's
and smash
right,
a computer? I
exactly.
mean, we're talking rage
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pain, right? So much
Wow.
rage. And this isn't, this isn't like the first time. These are women that have, he's been lying and hiding for years and years and years and years, and finally something just snaps. Because that's abuse. You're abusing your partner.